Hi, I'm Eric Dewey from the Socially Awkward Studios, Science and Beer, and Her Majesty's Secret Podcast, and you're listening to another proud presentation of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Check out more shows at foureyedradio.com.
It's your good pal, Steve-O from the Four-Eye Radio Network. I'm here to talk to you about a wonderful designer we all know, Revenge Lover. Illustrates and designs that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, please visit revengelover.com. And just do yourself a favor and tell them Steve-O sent you. I know it really doesn't count for anything, but, I mean, come on. Who are you gonna trust? You gonna trust somebody else? No, you're gonna trust me, Steve-O. Because, face it, I'm awesome.
Hey, dudes. What's up, everybody? How you doing, man? What's up? Welcome to another week of Appropriately Inappropriate. Hope I didn't annoy you there. That was my California surfer dude voice, bro. That was stupid. It probably sounds exactly the same as my normal voice.
You
now.
look the part.
Yeah. I am one of your hosts, Kevin Elliott. I haven't been here for 2 weeks, so I hope you missed me. You probably didn't. Nancy was here. What's up, Nance?
What's
How you
up?
doing?
I'm good. I missed you because I filled in for 1 week, and then we took 1 week off, so I'm happy to be back.
I was wicked sick last week.
Oh, yeah. You got the flu?
Had sick. The flu turned into like a cold, turned into sinus infection, turned into HIV, and that turned into a new bill of health.
On top of your already IBS.
Yeah. Well, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
That's just a part of my life now.
Thing.
It's not a disease. It's not. It's just me. Actually, if you go and listen to Tom Segura, it's on Netflix, his special called Completely Normal, he talks about a shitting experience, kind of, just how he is. He's like, I didn't know that not everybody went diarrhea all the time.
I don't think that's normal. I don't think you're supposed to.
No, it's not normal. It's not normal.
I think that's associated with like hangovers and food poisoning.
Yeah, but it's a funny bit. So if you guys get the chance, go on there and watch it, would you? Let's see. Follow me on Twitter at I am Kevin Elliott. Follow Nancy on Instagram at ngaragus. Did you like how I did that?
I like that.
I just went and I did it for you.
So much stress is gone.
Yeah, well, what else? Foureyedradio.com is where you can find all the shows on the Four-Eyed Radio Network.
I think they've got a new show coming up, too.
I think so, too.
Yeah, so listen for that.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, go to the website. Check it out. Go listen to all the other shows on there.
And we missed Podcast Day. Happy Podcast Day.
Yeah.
Because that's a day.
Yeah, every day.
Make up a day. What day would you make up?
Every day is something. Lazy day? Nap day? It's official National Nap Day.
Okay.
Oh, God, please. Mm-hmm. I'm going to submit it to my senator.
Okay.
In a letter every day, except every day it'll be one sentence less.
But you're lazy, so how would you do that? You're going to hire someone.
Or, yeah, I'll just get one drafted letter and I'll just send that one in every day.
Yeah.
So I won't write it.
Okay.
Got to do a couple shout-outs. One, shout out to Murray Valeriano, a buddy of mine. He's the host of the Road Stories podcast. That's on All Things Comedy Network. Listen to his show, guys. It's awesome. It comes out the same day as ours, just a little bit later, towards the evening. So you can listen to our show. And then later at night, listen to his show. It's really good. He gets a couple guests on. They tell stories from doing comedy on the road, and it's really funny. They get into a lot of good topics. I've never steered you wrong before. I will not steer you wrong this time. I promise.
No.
Nancy's shaking her head, which is good for podcasting.
Don't steer us wrong, Kev. Don't
So check it out, guys. Check it out, please. Let's see. Also, this past week, 5-year anniversary, which I don't know if you call it an anniversary, but Greg Giraldo passing, which is a big deal in my life. So really shitty day, and always wish nothing but the best to his family and his kids. So that was a rough one to get through, but yeah, I don't know. Just listen to his stand-up to keep his legacy going.
Memory alive?
Yeah.
Is he like an artist? Does his stuff get better because he's not around anymore?
No, he's always been hilarious. And one of the best, and somebody who I learned more from stand-up than I could ever imagine.
Someone you knew personally?
So it's all good. I mean, it's not, but
it's terrible.
But you know, so yeah, we're off to a great start.
So National Greg Giraldo Day. Is that his name? We'll make him a day.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
All right, he gets a day. It's today.
And then today on the show, we were going to have Andy Steinberg and Clayton Perkins, but Clayton couldn't make it last minute, so we're just going to have Andy on, which is cool. We've had him on once before, which was a lot of fun. He's a really cool guy. He's a guy that I talk a lot of shop with, meaning we talk a lot of stand-up. I don't know if we'll do that today. We always end up doing it.
Does he know the new format of the show, or?
Yeah, but he's here.
He doesn't seem like the guy who you just say tell a joke to, and he goes, okay.
Yeah,
Tell me a joke, funny guy.
He would.
Doesn't seem like that guy.
He would do that to break it down. So
Okay.
maybe we'll get him to do that.
Okay.
And also, he has a big show at the Tempe Improv on Thursday, October 8th. I'll let him tell you guys the details, but it's Clayton's on it. Jared Campbell's on it, who I think will be on next week.
Okay.
And Jared's a comic from L.A. Hilarious dude. He's awesome. I love him. So hopefully we get him in. I've been trying to get him in every time he's in Arizona. So
Oh, he
fingers
doesn't live
crossed.
here?
No, I
Okay,
just
well,
said
that
he's from
makes-
LA.
That
So
makes it difficult. Yeah, well, you're from LA, but you're always
yeah,
here,
but he
so.
lives in LA. And he's got a podcast. Take one for the team.
Okay.
I think is what it's called. It's new. Jared Campbell's.
I like the name.
So yeah, listen to that one, dude. It's a really cool podcast. They talk a lot of football, but then they talk about regular stuff too. And they usually have one super cool guest on. Like this past week, they had. Remember the tall, bigger black guy on 8 Mile?
Yeah.
He was their guest.
Oh, really? How
Yeah,
him?
he's on Ballers now. Oh, Jared knows all these people.
Just living out there?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, their podcast is cool, but not as cool as ours. So we
No.
thank you guys for listening. Nance, what's been going on with you?
Oh, there were so many things, and it's been like 2 weeks since I've seen you, so I forgot most of them. But yeah, I'm just living this most boring life right now.
But
so.
you're super pregnant.
Super pregnant.
Shout out to my ex-wife who just gave birth to her daughter.
Aw.
Not mine. Her new husband.
Shout out to you.
So yeah, she just gave birth. So I am here because my son is seeing his new little sister.
Oh, that's cool. Is he so excited?
No. He was,
Never
but now
are.
that she's born, you just kind of like before he left, he goes, it's going to be so boring.
It
I
is.
go, yeah, you're going to a hospital.
Yeah.
It's not like a playground.
No, they don't let you play in there.
Yeah, so
The only fun is administering drugs, which he can't do. So
he goes, Dad, is she going to be really quiet?
the baby?
Because
No.
I hope she's going to be quiet. And I go, if she's anything like you, you're going to hate her.
This might shape him up. Get his little ass in shape.
I hope so, man. Before we started recording, I was telling Nancy, I almost think that my son is pranking me with how bad he's acting.
There's hidden cameras in your house just to see, let's
Yeah.
see if we can make Kevin just flip his shit.
I think so. Maybe.
Maybe.
Like maybe my ex-wife is trying to get full custody of him, and she's got CPS just watching every
Yep.
move, and she tells him like, "You got to be bad around him,"
this
so
to
he
him.
loses his mind.
Eat this.
And I do. I get mad. Like
Why
I mean,
would-
I don't physically touch him. I don't really yell at him either. But it's hard to ignore. They always say ignore him.
Right.
It's hard to do that.
It's hard to ignore the most annoying person in the world that you can't hurt.
Yeah.
I know. I have 2 of them.
So, your kids play video games, right?
Yeah.
So when they are playing, have they ever acted out or like gotten a temper tantrum or whatever?
No, but when they play team games where they're on the same, they can play at the same time, and there's like, let's say something to get, and one of them gets it. It's never fair. It's never fair in video games, even if it's one of them's turn and they don't, and the other one's next. Somehow, it's still never fair.
So, do you turn it off?
Usually, I just walk away,
Oh, really?
but they kind of have each other to like take it out on.
Yeah,
So
God
your
damn
son
it.
just has you to take it out on.
And he does.
Yeah.
I've turned it off. I've turned the Xbox off like twice, and it was an epic tantrum.
Yeah.
To throwing everything and me just picking it up and taking it away for like, a day or two. But it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. I've grounded my daughter once from her phone for like 3 hours, and she lost her shit crying. Like, I should have recorded it and sent it to her friends. She was so upset, and she doesn't even use her phone.
Maybe, you know what though? Maybe that's a good idea. Videotape it.
Oh, I've done that
Show
before.
it back to them and
Yeah.
hope it embarrasses
I've done
them.
that.
And they can
get
see it.
so upset. Do that. That's what I've done.
Okay, I've
and
never
then the
thought of
other
it.
thing is they never act like that around their dad. So when I'm like, well, when Billy comes home, I'm showing it to Dad, and they're like, no, like they're horrified that.
Okay, why don't
would
they do that?
Get seen, or he would see them acting like that. I don't know.
Is he super strict with them?
No,
So that's.
but
I
they're
don't
just
know,
super
man.
easy for him for some reason.
I don't know. I don't get it.
They're all a pain in the ass. That's why I decided to have another one. Which,
Did you decide on a name?
No, we have Stark, which is what I
Still like that one. That's my front runner.
And my husband likes Jax, which I think is fine, but I think it's super popular. So, meh.
Yeah.
And what else do we have? That's it. Axel, but he says that's like too different.
Yeah, it's too lame. It's
lame?
too Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, it's not cool yet. Maybe another 10 years.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, maybe. But some of the things people are naming their kids now are just awful. Like the most popular names right now are Liam, which I hate that name.
Yeah, it's a foreign name. I feel like
biblical name. No one's religious anymore. No one. And there's all these biblical names that are so popular. You know why? Because no one's religious and they don't know their biblical names. That's why.
That's true.
But Liam's really popular. What else is like everyone's naming their kid? Oh, just shit I don't like. But
Handbag?
Whatever. Handbag?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't named a kid in 6 years, so I don't know.
Well, your son has a fine name. It's not too popular. It's not,
No, yeah,
fine. So we don't know what we're going to name him. But we do know he's going to be born on December 15th.
For sure?
He's scheduled to be born December 15th unless he comes before that.
Well, wow.
Yeah.
So does that mean you have to have a C-section?
Yeah, I had one before. So
So now you have to do it every time.
Yeah. So.
I've never understood. Okay, so you've had one before, so that's why you have to give birth every time. Mm-hmm. So what if you go into labor and can't make it to the hospital? Do you have to cut your own stomach open?
Just in case. There's YouTube for that.
Gross.
But no, I don't think so. I'm sure I would live. I just don't think it would be very pleasant.
Oh, man. Why is that? Did they ever explain it to you?
Yes. Okay, so there's a scar on your uterus because they cut through your stomach, through your muscles, through all, whatever. So the complication can be that scar tissue tears open during labor because of contractions and all the trauma to your body can actually rip your scar open, which makes sense because after I had my first daughter, for about 3 years, every time I would do sit-ups, I could feel that scar, felt like it was going to tear open. It was
really
weirdest thing. So I just figured, why not just schedule it and be done with it.
Do you have a visible scar?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, so whatever. It's not bad. It's low. But
is it big?
It's like
or long?
3 inches long.
Ah, it's not bad.
No, I mean, unless you're really looking for it, I don't think you could see it.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, all right.
December 15th.
That's going to be awesome, man.
Yeah.
We're going to record live from the hospital room.
I think I'm going to treat this podcast like a job because it's really the only thing I do that I feel like is important. And I think I'm going to have someone fill in for me, like go on maternity leave. Just so I feel like I'm significant in this world.
For like the 2 or 3 weeks before you leave, they show up just to watch and get to know everything.
I'm going to train an understudy for 1 episode. And then you got to go. I'm sorry, you got to go.
All right, guys. Well, that was our intro. Still no intro music. I'm going to start outing the person that was supposed to do it, but I really want the music, so maybe not. But, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next time you hear us, we'll be in 2 seconds, and we'll be with Andy Steinberg. All right, we're back. We're up. What's up? We're up. What's up? It's a good start.
It's so funny because we take breaks, and it doesn't sound like a break, so...
So no one knows until you say we're back.
Yeah, but they're always there. It's just
been
stupid.
recorded yesterday, for all anyone knows.
When was the intro recorded?
Like 20 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, I was late.
No.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
Okay. The voice you're hearing is the voice we told you would hear. Andy Steinberg, what's up, bro?
Not much.
How you doing? Thanks for coming.
No, thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I'm very pleased to be here.
We talked a few weeks ago about getting you on because you've got that big show coming up on Thursday, October 8th.
Hashtag the comedy show.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's what it's called?
Oh, that's easy to remember.
Is it the hashtag, or is it called hashtag the comedy show?
Actual hashtag the comedy show.
That's awesome.
Pound signed comedy show.
Presented by Insufficient Industry Credits, which is me.
That's awesome, man.
Insufficient Industry Credits.
Go ahead, promote away everything. I mean, the show, everything on top of that, whatever you've got.
Get this out of the way?
Yeah.
So the show is this month. Yeah, we turn into this month, October 8th, Thursday at 8 p.m. at Tempe Improv. And I guess the thing to tell everybody that's listening to this that might want to come to this, if you go onto Tempe Improv's website and you go to buy the tickets and you put in the promo code, the word chuckle, your tickets are free.
Yeah.
So that's
get on it, everybody. Have you gotten pre-sale numbers back?
Yeah, I mean it's where it was last time I did the show there.
Okay.
And we still sold it out. So I'm still hoping for that same thing.
It always picks up like the last couple days.
But yeah, and we got we got great comics on the show. I got local comic here, Clayton Perkins, who toured with Cat Williams. I have Jared Campbell from LA is coming out to do the show. You can try to figure out who his brother is by his last name, Campbell. There's a lot of Campbells, so good luck trying to figure it out.
It's true.
And then Christian Davis is on the show, and he toured with Stanhope. And a great comic that I just like here, who's hosting the show, probably has more work in than any of us, is Tom Sims.
Like Tom Sims. He's so funny.
Yeah, and there's a guest set by Ricardo Rocha, just because.
Cool.
He's back from L.A., and he has comedy with a vengeance right now, so we'll see.
That's awesome, man. Every one of those guys is a killer. They're really funny. So it cannot not be a great show. Does that make sense?
It'll be great.
It can't be a great show?
Not be great.
Right?
Yeah, makes sense to me. All right,
No?
so
Yeah?
since
You
you were
with me?
here last, you're probably my favorite guest we've ever had on. I just kind of feel like we complained about the same things and really, we're able
I think
to
I've heard
relate.
you tell other people they're your favorite.
No, you're my favorite.
Okay.
You're my favorite. But since then, I've seen you twice,
Okay.
and you didn't recognize me, so it just seemed creepy to go say hi.
You could come say hi. Like, there's a lot of people.
Well, the first time I saw you was at Lux Coffee in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
So that was you, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I locked eyes with you. I thought, and maybe not so much, but it had to have been you. Not many people look like you.
I don't know. There's a lot of people I think that look like me. Allen Ginsberg, Rick Ross. Not Rick Ross. Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin.
Who's Rick Ross?
He's the boss.
Oh, okay. Well, he doesn't look like you.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't think
I also saw you at
Dead looking.
Best Buy about a month ago.
Well, why don't you say anything?
Because by the time I saw you, I was in my car, and there was no way I could have caught up.
Yeah,
I can't run.
I'm extreme ADHD. Seriously, I really am. I have no focus. Like when I'm out, I don't see any. Like my best friend could come up next to me, and I wouldn't know he was there.
Would you get scared? Oh, hey, what's
Yeah,
up?
I've done
Oh,
it. People
that's
have
good.
done it before. They're
Okay,
like, hey,
well, next
I'm
time
like,
I run into you, so it'll be, let's see,
Yeah.
my calculations in a month or so.
I think you're going to be down longer than that.
I'll scare you.
People still go to Best Buy?
Yeah, I was there
It's
with a
not
friend.
the Best Buy anymore at all.
What is it now? It's like
Well,
like
that's what
candy
it's
and
called,
soda
but
there.
it's
like
like-
Blockbuster. They sell like condiments now.
When Best Buy first opened, their prices were super low. And it was the Best
CDs
Buy.
were like, what, $12.99?
No, they were like $8.99.
They don't even have CDs.
When they opened,
Yeah.
and now
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
used to go there for CDs.
Yeah, now they
remember?
have like 3 CDs, I think, in
But-
the back.
Right.
Now everything there, last time I went, it was super expensive.
They have like Dysons and washing machines now.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
they
you
still have electrical stuff.
If you need an SD card, though, right now,
Yeah?
you go to Best Buy. Well, you don't go to Radio Shack?
No,
Is there Radio Shacks?
No, there's no more Radio Shacks.
I needed a flash drive, and I went to Fry's, my grocery store.
That's where I get mine.
And I got like a 64 gig flash drive for like $4.
Yeah, that's right. But even
That's
though they're
awesome.
$4, they're still behind glass. Right?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? This has made me feel so stupid, dude. I stood there in front of the glass for like 20 minutes, just waiting for somebody to come and like open the glass for me. And then I touched it and the glass moved. I'm like, oh, that's good. It's not even locked. I just wasted 20 minutes
Right.
of my fucking
But it's
life.
so funny because
I could've just
everything
grabbed
behind
it.
that glass is now cheaper than like your cheap bottle of wine that is not behind glass. So it's, I don't know why they still have these things behind glass because they're more, I don't know, cheaper than like a bag of coffee or whatever. Is it just because they're supposed to be behind glass or maybe
They're easy,
they're
to,
easy
steal.
to steal? People still steal? I don't know.
It's those damn kids.
Kids are terrible.
That's why it's behind glass.
Kids are terrible.
We've
I'm
been
on a
talking
kid's
about
terrible
this
tangent
all
today.
Since I saw Kevin. How's it going, Kev? My son's awful.
He's been so bad.
That's his job.
He's
It
such
is
a
his
good kid.
job.
He's such a good kid and he's so sweet. But for the last few days, or I should say week, like I've been sick, and so he wasn't exactly a charmer while I'm sick. But man, he's just out of nowhere. He's got this attitude
He's 6, right?
that I've got to check him. I'm like, dude.
How old is he?
Yeah, he's 6.
Okay.
I'm like, dude, are you fucking with me? Like, is this a joke? Because I've never, ever witnessed a child who acts like this. And he's just like, nah, man, this is me. Fucking deal with it. Oh, that's good. Way to hear you
I
talk.
wonder if you were like that when you were a kid, and that's
Oh,
why
I was a
he's
good
doing it.
kid. I threw tantrums. But only because, like, okay,
I
this
didn't
is
get
the
my
difference
way.
between me and my son. He's not independent at all. He's super dependent, and he won't do anything by himself. I only wanted to do stuff by myself when I was a kid. I'd play video games, I'd watch TV, I'd play sports around the house, I'd make up games. I'd do everything by myself. I never asked my parents to play with me. I didn't want them in the house if I was playing. I prefer to be left alone. Now, it's like, dude, go kick the soccer ball around by yourself. I don't have to play with you all the time. I don't have a 6-year-old's energy level. I have an 84-year-old's energy level. No, nothing from you, your kids.
Yeah, I already went through this. I mean, I went through that stage already. But and my youngest is on the autism spectrum, so it was a little different. I mean, we had a lot of different things going on. But for the most part, I think kids are assholes, without a doubt. And I love them. I love it. I say this on stage. So I hate to say this, I tell jokes on a podcast, but but this is the truth, and it's the truth with anybody you love. It is impossible to understand how you can love and adore something so much and absolutely hate them so much at the same time. And it's because it's a relationship. It's not just your kid. You have a relationship with this thing, and
this thing. I love it.
And I fucking hate him. I mean, I hate him. There's so much to love about my children, and then I think the part that we may hate, but not maybe in your case, is the reflection of what we don't like about ourselves a lot of times.
Oh, that was in depth. Let's take a second.
Does your son reflect something
deep.
About you?
Yeah, because I hate when I see my kids doing the things that I used to do. I'm like, oh, you are just, I that's not going to go anywhere for you. Let's not do this.
No, I don't. I understand what you're saying. I don't think.
That's mine. I'm owning that one.
Yeah. I think for me, it's my son doesn't do the stuff I used to do, and that pisses me off. It's like I was very easy as a child. I just did my own thing. I didn't get into serious trouble. I did regular kid stuff.
Yeah, but this is your perception of you. Let's get someone in here.
My dad wants to come on the podcast.
Yeah, let's get
him on
and find out if that's really the truth.
He wants to come on. He brings it up every week. But we have a rule, dude. If you ask, you don't come on.
Well, what if I asked
I told him that last night. I'm like, dude, you asked. Like, I can't. We don't have guests on if you ask because they always turn out to be really bad.
Every time a guest asks to come on, they don't talk. Especially ones you think would be real talkative. They don't say anything.
It's weird. It is the weirdest thing. It's over the progression of this show, dude. It's like every single guest we've had that asks to come on and continues to ask, they've come on and it hasn't been a good episode.
Because they have all these things they want to say, but they don't know how to get to it.
I guess.
So
I don't know.
They sit there waiting for this opportunity to have.
And it's also not just this show. I've asked a lot of other people that have podcasts, and everybody says the same thing.
If you ask, they're not a good guy.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, that might be true.
But just out of respect, you should have your dad on. If my dad asked to come on, I'd probably let him. My dad has a podcast, though.
Why don't
so
you
knows
just do the two dad shows, and you both have both your parents here?
My dad could promote his podcast on our podcast.
Yeah.
It'd be so weird.
I don't know. I may have my dad in one time. My dad and we get along, but we also don't get along at all. So there's it's a mix. We both love each other very much. We talk a lot, every day, but not long conversations. But when it gets to that point, it's like one of us piss each other off, and it's just kind of like, all right, we're done here. We'll talk tomorrow.
So what if you piss each other off?
Great.
Yeah.
So I think we've already answered the question about the kids pissing each other off without even having your dad here.
So
it's your perception that you were a great kid. I'm telling you right now, I know you. I'm looking at you. You weren't. You weren't a great kid. You just weren't.
Why do you say that, man?
Because when we're growing up, everything that we do, we believe is the correct thing that we're doing, and our parents are like, "No, that's not what you're supposed to do." And we go and we remember in our heads how we want to remember. What we were talking before we even came on here is if we could attach, a thumb drive to our heads and pull out all the thoughts from our childhood. There's things in there, and we remember them the way we want to for probably protective reasons. We do, but that's the way we are.
What's the worst thing you ever did as a kid?
As a kid? Or,
yeah.
Okay, because as an adult I did worse. You know what? I honestly, I was a really good kid. And I guess I smoked weed in high school. It was probably the worst thing I ever did.
And that, I didn't. But if you say that's the worst thing you ever did, and my son is like, dude, this is the worst thing I ever did, I'd be like, cool. You didn't fuck up horribly.
I just remember the worst thing I ever did, and
Here we go.
I can't believe I'm going to share this.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
No, and it's really, I really feel it's really going to be. It's not good.
The police are going to be calling.
No.
Yeah, what's the statute of limitations now?
It's 7 years. I know this because of the things I did as an adult that I knew how to know when I could talk about it. I got a girl pregnant, and she got an abortion when I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah, that is the worst thing I ever did, and it's one of those things I think about all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, because
Well, that's life altering. That's man.
Yeah.
You didn't think of that off, and that's not also
That's
one.
an interesting way to say it, because usually a girl would carry around the guilt that you seem to be carrying around.
I date really young girls, and it occurs to me sometimes that the child that I aborted
could have been
would be older than the
that
girls I'm
age.
dating sometimes. Yeah, it's a
But
weird.
as a woman, you feel like a guy would never really carry that kind of guilt around, when usually a woman would carry that guilt around.
No, it's.
But it ate you up.
Yeah, no, I never. I mean,
It's heavy.
It was the right. I don't want to make this a political kind of thing.
You're in the right place.
But
Don't worry.
At the time, given that we were both in high school and we felt that was the thing that we should do. And I feel bad for the girl. I felt I don't feel bad for myself. I feel bad, about everything about it. But I it didn't pop up to the first thing that I thought about what I did.
Yeah.
Because I've accepted it as that was something we did. But if you really look at it, that would be the worst thing that I think I did.
I don't know. Does that count as a worst thing? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I guess everybody's view on that
Like
stuff
all the
is
stuff I
different.
did when I was a
we're
kid,
going
like
too
let's say
deep.
drugs or whatever. Now I look back on that and I just go, I don't really feel like that's that bad. But maybe because back then probably like, oh, I did this drug, that's probably so bad. And now I just feel like that's kind of what you do when you're a kid, I guess.
Nance, what's the worst thing you ever did as a kid?
It's so weird you say this, because I was thinking about this the other day, this unbelievable guilt I had about something that was so stupid, but I was really little when I did it, and I feel like bad to this day because I knew it was bad. I was on my bike in front of my house and I saw a snail, and I ran it over with my bike just to see what would happen, and it smushed and the shell cracked, and I killed something on purpose just to see what would happen. And to this day, I don't feel right about it. I must have been 6 or 7 years old, and I killed it because I wanted to see what would happen.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that was the shittiest thing.
Yeah, but
I knew better.
But you did see what would happen. It affected you.
It died.
No, and it
Sad.
affected you. It made you a different person from that moment on.
Maybe for the better. Who
You know,
knows? And I'm sorry a snail had to die for it. But I mean, I see bugs in my house besides roaches. I hate roaches. Crickets, I shoo them outside. I don't like bugs, but I give them a chance on the outside. Maybe. I don't know. I don't like killing things.
Killing things isn't a great thing, but I just thought about, like, I came on here to promote my show, and I probably had 20 people just cancel the show.
No way.
Yeah, we're not going to see
No
that
way. No way. I think that's crazy. What a thing to go through in high school, man. For you, I'm talking to Annie. I don't give a shit about Nancy's killing snails. What are you?
No, but
Fucking grow up,
it
affected her.
It affected her.
No, it did. And
It's a timeline in her life that she remembers how.
as an adult, I couldn't
And
do
now
that.
I
I
just
see
can't
what you're
kill
saying.
things.
I see what you're saying, Nance.
Hunting anything, I just, I mean, I'm not like, I don't really care what other people do if you want to hunt or whatever, but for me, it's not for me.
Are you a vegetarian?
No, but
Okay.
I mean, I get it, where people can say, I can't eat that because I can't kill an animal. Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
But
I
mean, I'll keep it all to myself.
Oh, so would I.
Yeah.
I could
Every
happily
meal.
keep it all to myself.
Well, yeah, because
you know?
if it's wrapped up in the in the cellophane at the store, that wasn't a cow. That's just good old eat.
Dude, you
right
eat.
there.
It's what
Yeah.
it's what you do.
But there's
You
the
gotta
argument. I believe in the food chain and staying alive and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So,
Well, I'm in the right room.
Fuck yeah.
told you you're our favorite guest.
Yeah, well, I just don't. I don't mind people being vegetarians or what's the other thing that is really whiny?
Vegan?
But
All vegans eat meat.
Yeah.
They go, I'm a vegan, but I eat lots of fish. Okay, so you're not a vegan then. You still eat meat. That's meat.
Well, no, I know a lot of
Pescatarians.
that don't eat fish though. Too. But you know what? I don't care. Don't pass judgment on me. This is what I eat. You want to tell me
Right.
about it for whatever reason? But this is,
Yeah.
You know who ate that meat too? My caveman brothers that got us to this
Yeah,
stage in
that's
our
why
life.
you're here.
Yeah.
I agree
So-
with you.
Also, it's like, dude, you're outnumbered. So don't sit there and tell us that it's this great thing, like, oh my God, you need to be like this. No, you're well outnumbered by people that are eating meat.
Yeah,
and we've been doing it forever.
When the supply in the food chain goes away, the first thing meat eaters are going to turn to is vegans. You are delicious.
Looking good. Oh, that's funny.
awesome.
Okay, so just to steer course a little bit, but not too much. Kevin and I's very first podcast, 2 years ago, we brushed over the subject of co-ed baby showers and how stupid we think they are. Well, now I'm hosting a co-ed baby shower coming up. And all these cards I'm looking at online.
Is it yours?
No. Oh, okay. God. Can you, my husband? Right. No. All these cards are like baby barbecue, baby BBQ, like trying to incorporate it as like a couple's like barbecue.
I don't know. It sounds delicious, though.
That's what I kept thinking. I'm like, all these cards look like you're cooking babies, and that's so funny. But the couple that I'm hosting for are vegetarians, so I'm like, I know all their guests aren't vegetarians, so who do you make happy?
To guess.
Yeah,
I know. I kind of thought so too.
and just a dish for the people that are vegetarians. Not like
Just
a dish
like
of salad.
a plate
I
of
don't know.
hummus with some carrots and celery sticking out of it.
You sit there. We'll all be outside having fun.
Barbecuing babies.
Yeah. You should barbecue baby back ribs. Like everything that has to do with babies.
That would be great.
Every meat that has baby in it.
Yeah.
Veal.
Yes. Yeah, you have to.
What is baby chickens? Cornish game hen? Or those are just tiny chickens, I think.
Fuck it, dude. Just do
eggs.
it. Eggs.
Eggs, yeah.
Yeah, that's an
Anything
egg.
baby themed that's meat. Done. I think I'll do
awesome.
that.
An egg. I love it. Fucking
Deviled
hilarious.
eggs and all kinds of gross egg
Yes.
foods.
Everything. Ovaries. Just everything.
If you could do a deviled egg where it looked like the little chicken was sitting on the egg white, just like a little
Stick
yellow
little
chicken.
peeps on them.
Yes. Oh man, Andy and I are gonna come now. This is
Okay.
awesome.
All right, you're in.
We're invited and everything.
Oh my God, I just had thought of my husband coming to a baby shower. He
Yeah,
wouldn't.
that's not him.
He just wouldn't. He would no.
He's too
I won't do
masculine of a
that.
dude.
He just knows better.
Why is it a co-ed baby shower?
That's popular right now, I think, and maybe I don't know. I don't know why anyone would do that.
Because women want men to do those things?
Maybe some men want to do those things.
I don't think men want to do
I
those
don't
I don't
think
think
so.
so either. But I mean,
I have
it's
this
popular.
theory.
It's popular.
I have this theory, and it's
I think it's just a way to like turn it into a party and not a baby shower, because baby shower is lame.
You could have an after party. If you could do the baby shower, we don't want to.
You could just have a party.
And then have that. Well, I'm sorry, guys.
You could just have a barbecue and invite your friends, and your wife happens to be pregnant.
This is worse.
It's fine. Don't
It's
worry.
fine.
We don't
dude.
care.
Yeah, you're good. This is worse.
No, I think.
For anybody, Andy was talking about his phone. If you didn't hear it,
Andy wasn't
That
here when one
awesome.
time this phone rang and the actual landline rang. Everybody stopped and looked around like, the fuck
No one
is
talked.
that?
No one moved.
No one knew what to do.
What do we do? The phone's never
Kevin
rang
hid under the
before.
desk. Like, we didn't know what was going to happen.
But this co-ed thing, I have this theory, and it's a stupid theory, but it's one I believe. This is something that was told to me recently by someone else who said that kids today that are like in their 20s, like when I was growing up, our goal. God, this is just I don't know when I am such a misogynist when I say these things, but we wanted to we saw a good-looking girl. We wanted to get with that girl. That was like our.
That's still what you
That
do,
still
right?
happens.
No, but now the kids that are 20 and under right now, because of the way the landscape of our society is, men are afraid of girls these days because now it's like if you take out your penis, you're dominating. It's like an unholy act. Like you are. I'm not saying you're supposed to whip out your penis before. I'm just saying it's
Everyone parents differently.
no, but it's such an aggressive act, though. We are like the aggressors, and it seems like society is, like you said, like a co-ed baby shower. That was traditionally women went and did,
Right.
and they're moving men into a direction where they want men to actually women want men to become their best friend, and that's the thing we were always to stay away from, being the friend zone. And
yeah.
Do men want to be women's friends?
No.
well, I think though, but this is they are dumbing us down until like our penis is basically ineffective and no more use, and we become Caitlyn Jenner is basically the
right.
The swing that I see is going to is where we are just. I'm not saying that we're all gonna.
The overly masculine thing is to become a woman.
Yeah.
I'm so comfortable with it. I'm going to be a woman.
I'm going to be a woman for you because that's that's the direction.
I don't want to see men go.
But women don't want that. But they act like they do want that. It's such a fun. I was watching a television. If you watch any show that's like 20 years or older, that man can't exist today. Man, I feel sorry for.
He's offensive.
Yeah, I feel sorry. In the 50s, during the Rat Pack era, that was the best men will ever be. That's the best they ever had for white men. For black dudes, I'm sorry, black dudes, you never got to live the greatest man life. I never did either. But I'm just saying, in that group, the 50s, how much better could it have got? You got to smoke, you got to drink all day long. That was your deal.
Yeah.
And you got to go out,
hang out
and your
in the
woman
garage
was at home. She was cooking food. And if you saw a hot chick and you wanted to bang her, well, you know what? Hey, she's at home. I mean, it couldn't have got any better for a man at that time. And now we're in the thing where, like, you almost have to have a contract signed before you're allowed to get naked with a girl. I mean, it's a whole different...
There's a movie about that right now. Sign that contract. You didn't see 50 Shades of Grey? I hope not. Neither of you did, right? Of course you did. Well, there's a contract because he is, what's it called? Dominator, or when you are into the...
S&M?
Yes, S&M.
That's
it. So she's got to sign a contract in case whatever. It's like...
Goes too far?
Yeah.
Gets
There's
injured?
safe words. Yeah, injuries. Safe words and contracts.
Well, I think you almost do now, and just for regular sex, not even S&M. It's just, I'm very happy. I have a girlfriend. Life is good for me. I don't have to worry about any of this. But if I was working today,
dating, you mean dating, right?
Yeah, working.
Yeah. Okay.
If I was out there, I would be very like it would be. It's not the same. It's
okay, so when you started dating the girl you're with, did you implement any of your old-fashioned, let's say, tactics? Like when your first date, let's say you go out to dinner, do you believe that, like just the simplest of examples, does the guy pay? Does the girl pay? What's acceptable now?
You've already missed something.
What did I miss?
There is no such thing as a date.
Oh, I'm so...
you meet up.
Like...
You meet up. Hey, we'll meet up at...
We're here with my friends and I'm here with your friends?
No, we're just going to meet up. We'll meet up. Hey, do you want to go out and meet up at such and such? It's a meetup. You don't... I mean, there are... And then if you have several meetups and it's working out, then you can maybe go on a date, like a movie or... You
like
meet
a
up.
dinner?
Yeah. I remember it started with the phone, I think, because I remember when I was married... we didn't have I had a cell phone.
You had to call.
Yeah, you called. You did. And then
we've talked about this. I couldn't imagine dating now. Couldn't even.
But after I got divorced, it wasn't even a matter of like, hey, I would just text out a text to my mail, my phone book, and just, hey, what's going on tonight? And you would get just texts back of where everybody's at. So you would go meet up, and if you met someone out that night that worked out great. And that was like my first intro into like the new world. And then I was like, this is interesting. And I remember meeting this girl, and we I'm trying to remember what the words
phrase it properly.
We don't want to offend anyone.
No. It's what she said. She said we're hanging out, which means sleeping together.
Oh,
that's how she phrased it.
We're just hanging out. If you're hanging out, you're sleeping together. Like we're just hanging out.
Because that used to be we're seeing each other, not dating together, but sleeping together or something.
No, but see, that's where this all confusion comes in. Is it's all on the one. It's the female's idea of how this. Like I have no understanding. I just went with however it worked out. I got to be honest because it's how it worked out. The reason I'm dating the girl that I'm dating is because she is just as much of an asshole as I am, and we
works.
Yeah, and we came from the same kind of background where her parents it's very snarky, and my parents and her parents are similar in the fact that they used to just you did something dumb, you got called out on it, or you just and it was just a smart way of living in this snarky little world, and we're both the same. So it works out.
Sounds like you kind of lucked out.
Yeah, I did. She's a lot younger than me, but we still fit into the same kind of idea. But she's from New Jersey. It's a little rougher, a little harder out there, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, when I met my husband, it's just so weird because I'm not old fashioned. Like I don't want you out like smoking and cheating on me. Not that old fashioned, but I feel like I'm old fashioned. Like where I don't want to meet up. I want to like go on a date. I don't know. I haven't dated in 11 years, so I don't know. But my husband and I both had been married before, and we were both like out on dating, like on the scene. I went to a club with one of my girlfriends to go meet, for the intentions to meet a guy. And I met him. He was the second guy I met. And we ended up getting married. I met him, and I was like, he's hot, so I'm going to ask for his phone number. I guess that's what you do. So I went up to him, and I asked him for his phone number, and he's like, what's your phone number? And I was like, all right, I'll give you my phone number, whatever. So we exchanged numbers, and he called me the next day. We went out, and like, that was kind of it.
That was it.
I was like, that works. But we were both going through something similar.
Cool. Yeah.
So it was lucky and unlucky at the same time.
Now you don't ask for a number, you just Facebook them.
We followed each other on Twitter. Me and my husband like recently became Facebook friends too. We didn't even know we weren't Facebook friends. Like,
Didn't even know we were on there.
Yeah.
Who is this asshole? Why does he have more friends than me? And why are they all women? Secret life. That motherfucker.
But I can't imagine. But it was nice when we started dating. Texting was just a new thing, a new awesome thing. So we were like, oh, this is so cool. So now I can't even imagine dating now. It would be.
Well, Andy, what is it for your kids? Because how old's your oldest one? 15, 16?
No, he's going to be 17 in January.
Oh, shit. So...
Yeah, he's dating.
And is he open with you about it?
Yeah, he has a girlfriend, and they're very cute together. Despite everything I've just said, I did raise my son as a gentleman. And I have faith in him. But, I like anything, as with your kids, you give them all the tools, you give them the best knowledge you can, and what they do out there is what they do. I mean, I can't, he has to become the man that he's going to be. But I've given him everything that I could, that I've learned, because I did it the wrong way a lot of times, that I was able to pass on some better knowledge to him, and hopefully, because of having a little bit younger girlfriend and a different kind of understanding the day and age, that I was able to pass on to him things that were for this time that he's living in. That I hope I did that.
What was it like? I don't know. Like, what's it like for you to see it? See your son dating a girl? I don't know. Am I asking that? I'm not asking that right. I'm not.
What's it like? Well, because I'm older now and he's.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean, do you see the differences from when you were dating girls in high school and college, and then now you see your son doing it? I don't know. Like, what are there thoughts that go through your head? I don't know the right question to ask.
Well,
because I'm all over the place with my thoughts on it.
My only thought would just be, don't get pregnant. Don't get anyone pregnant. That would be my only concern about young dating.
Well, that's the first thing. That's like one of the first conversations I guess you have.
Well, I told you I know a girl. I said it I think twice on the show.
Oh yeah.
Where she got pregnant when she was 15, had a child. That child got a girl pregnant at 15, so she's a 31-year-old grandmother.
Wow, that's awesome.
Is it?
She's going to get to see her grandkid.
Yeah.
Great-grandkids.
Yeah.
We got 8 generations in this picture.
I don't know. I had kids old, so like now when Max wants to play basketball with me and I'm tired and my knee hurts, like I wish I would have had him a little younger, but not that much younger. What's weird for me is that both my boys started dating at the same time. But they're really close together. They're 18 months apart. But my youngest son is on the spectrum, and he's dating a girl who is also on the spectrum, and that's a loud fest.
Is it
together? Yeah, because autistic children, for the most part, high functioning ones anyway, have. Now I forgot the right word. I'm going to have to use a regular word, but they have a problem with their voice being very loud. Modulation issues.
Okay,
that's what it is, and. So when they're together, it's pretty loud. Yeah, they're great.
So you hear everything they talk about?
Well, I mean, for them, it's really cute because they're just happy that they found someone else that likes them, and they hug each other, and I've seen them kiss on the cheek, but that's it. And they're really happy. But there's also an emotional issue there where he might be 15, I think she's 14, but they're still really much.
Yeah.
Well, they're young.
Emotionally, understanding what they're up to. So that's one. So that's like the cutest thing ever. Like they're just like really cute together. And then there's my older son.
What age does that put him in? Middle school or high school?
He's in high school, first year of high school. And my other son is a junior in high school, the older one. And he, I don't know, he's just the most. Honestly, I feel so fortunate to be able to say what I'm going to say. Like as of right now, at this moment, I feel like I did enough of the right things, and I had a kid that was the right kid for me, that I look at him and I'm just proud that that's my kid. That I did that and I didn't mess it up. I just
That's awesome.
Didn't mess it up.
That is real cool. That's the goal, man. I mean, when they get to that age, you've been through the shit, right? And now 17 is coming out a little bit.
Yeah.
They're at least getting a little more mature and
He's
figuring things
he has
out.
some opinions and they're smart and I am such I'm like so overwhelming to them sometimes. The only thing that I worry about is that I haven't allowed him to expand enough, and that's why he seems great to me. Maybe I want him to continue to like come out of his shell.
Have you had to meet the girlfriend's parents?
No, I haven't had to meet the girlfriend's parents, and it's kind of first of all, I don't think anybody wants to meet me. And I met the girlfriend's mom at a Sprouts by my house, and I was like, and the first thing I said to my kid, and we got back into the car, I go, "Did you warn her before she saw me?" And he's like, "Yeah, we kind of let her know." And
no!
Yeah, but she was still like, I go, "What did her mom say the next day?" And she's like, she was a little, she was a little surprised.
No way.
Yeah.
What did he say? Do you know what he said to warn her?
No, I have no idea what he said. But I'm not the normal 50-year-old dad.
So no, you're not that. That's not how I describe you.
And yeah, so I know that, and plus, and she's like comes from a really, I'm going to say nice family. I don't know if they're a good family. I haven't met them, so I'm going to go with theirs. They seem very nice, and they seem like they've done very well in life. And I'm a struggling comic living in a condo, and it's funny because we're exactly, I'd say about 2 miles. I live 2 miles south of them on the same main street, off of the same main street. And it might be 2 miles, but it's like it's just a million miles
further.
away. Yeah, it's and so, but they see my son's girlfriend. They seem to get along really well. She's really quiet. They're really cute together. She's really little, and Max is taller than me now, so it was really funny when we first saw them together. But I don't even know if I want to meet the parents. Like I don't even want to say this because I don't want my son to. It's his first girlfriend. I mean, do I have to?
Yeah.
That doesn't work out. I have to go through the
You have to break up with these two new friends you've made.
Yeah, well, I don't even want to break up. I don't want to meet them.
But then you don't want to meet them because there's a problem either.
Yeah,
you want to know them.
Well, how about this? Let's not have a problem. And Max, she's a year younger than Max. Max goes away to college, and I slipped that whole thing. I didn't even have to see it.
I like it.
Yeah, no, it's
good.
awesome.
That's good.
That's my ideal situation there.
What do your kids think about you being a comedian?
My oldest one, it's really. I mean, I'm really. Sorry, I'm taking a second here to say
all right.
because some of my insecurities will come out when I describe some of this stuff. Before I was fortunate enough not to have the job, not to have the daily job, and I was going to work every day, and I'm doing comedy at night every night. I had this job at a restaurant that I talk about on stage sometimes, and I had this job there, and it's right across from my son's high school. And I said to him, I go, how are you going to feel though, like after school, and there's your dad, as the server at this restaurant. How does that make you feel? Because I don't care. Because what do I care? And my son totally is supportive because I support him on. He wants to be a guitarist. He's a really good guitarist, and we support each other on that part of us, our the arts.
Yeah.
And I just want him to go to college and graduate from college, and then I said, then after that, do whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. And so I guess he feels the same way. We just were really supportive of each other. The other one, my younger son, I think he wants to be a comic, but he has no idea what timing is, and he has no.
Yeah, we've talked about that. You and I.
He's funny naturally, just when he's talking, but he doesn't really understand always why it's funny, and that's just part.
He's done it before, though, right?
He's done it before, and we wrote some jokes, but he's still trying to sell the same joke now. And I'm like, dude, that joke doesn't work anymore.
He's just fixated on it. It will work.
It's the
perfect comic mind.
He is no different than half the open micers I deal with on a daily.
But one of your biggest pet peeves, you said the last time you were here in comedy, is when people don't do new material.
Yeah.
Even if you have old material and it kills every time, that makes you mad.
Yeah, well, not if you're doing it at a show. If you're doing it at
an open mic, it's a waste of time.
Move on. Like, let's hear some new stuff. Work on some new stuff. I'm mad at myself because I'm not working it. I started working a new bit on Thursday, so I was really happy. But with him, it's just a matter of sitting him down and working something for him. But I don't want him to get into this right now. I want him to do what he does in high school. It's hard. He just became the secretary of his class.
Cool.
And one day he said to me, "Hey, Dad, look, I'm ambidextrous." And I said, "No, son, you're not ambidextrous. You just have shitty handwriting with either hand." And so he got nominated to be secretary of his student government class because some of the kids, even he goes to a special school for high-functioning autistic and Asperger's kids, and just because it's that kind of school, there's still bullies in the school. And so they nominated him just because they thought it would be funny as a joke because his handwriting is so bad to be the secretary and keep all the notes. So
that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah. So he wrote his own speech. Well, yeah, he wrote his own speech for school. And the speech that he gave was so passionate, not about – he addressed that he wasn't good at handwriting, but he also addressed how people don't look at them as that they're good at a lot of things. And that's why he was the right person for this job, and he was going to prove that he could do this job. And so he won. And
that's so cool.
So he gets it, and he can write, but we got to get him on where he can write to be funny. But I want him to focus on that kind of stuff at school right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's only 15.
Yeah, not on comedy. And the people that are in comedy, you might know him. There's an autistic guy at the Comedy Store that's been there on a regular.
Oh yeah,
and he's funny, and it's taken him a long time. And people have been so good to him. And really,
Josh Martin, is that who you're thinking of?
Does he wear the jacket almost all the time on stage? Kind of a bigger, heavier guy.
No, somebody else. I know who you're talking about. I don't know the name.
I wish I could remember his name, but I watched the comedy crowd, which I thought, I mean, we can be a little bit. I mean, there's a little meanness to us in general, but and I'm not talking about a mean spirited. It's just the quickness of what we say sometimes can get a little mean sometimes. But I saw them embrace him and how they've taken care of him and really have. I'm not going to say protect him because there's no protection in comedy, but they have made sure that they have accounted for him. And so I don't mind my son if that's what he would like to do later. To get back to the very original part, do they support me? Yes, it's a very supportive environment in my family, and all my kids want to be part of the arts. And I think that I would like them to after they accomplish their necessary
education.
Things. Yeah, the education, just whatever True's going to do. True's going to. I don't know if True has the ability to go to college, but HVAC school is not a bad idea. I mean, he can do some air conditioning repair. I'm okay with that. I don't care what he wants to, whatever he wants to do.
That's awesome, dude. What about you with your kids, Nance?
Oh, I have two girls. One's 8, one's 10. So I just worry about them dating boys. Once they get into boys, it just changes the game. Right now, they're both so little and so innocent. Especially my older one. For her age, she's very innocent. Like, the stuff she's into is not what her friends are into. And she's not into friends either. So she's really sweet. Like, last night we went to her school's spirit night, whatever. Fucking hate it. All her little girlfriends, they're running around in, packs. They're 2 and 3 and 4, teams of girls. And they're all, walking around with their shirts tied, I don't know. They're just exploring shorts and tying
Taylor
up their
Swift.
shirts. You got it right there. And all of them ran down to the DJ booth together, and they're all requesting these songs and talking. What are we going to do later? And all my daughter wanted to do was the cakewalk and do this fucking wheel where you spin it and get candy. It's like, she's not into that stuff yet. But, I see her friends are, and it's just like, ooh, she's not into boys yet. But there are kids in her class that are into boys, and it scares me.
She's into girls.
She's not gay.
Kidding, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
She's been saying she's gay ever since she's
Just don't
met
be
her.
surprised. So,
I'm fine with it, but I mean, the day a boy comes to my house and picks her up in a car and they're
and
alone
she punches
together,
him in the gut on their way out.
she
I'm
definitely
driving.
take care of herself.
Well, I don't think you're going to have to worry about it because I think guys are going to be too afraid of the girls anyway. They're just
Yeah.
going to sit in the car and not say anything.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And you'll have to drop her off. They meet.
Oh, that all makes me nervous.
But
And,
do you
know,
care?
And then my younger one, she's a little more. She's not as happy as my older child, so I just kind of worry she might gravitate towards drugs and maybe the wrong crowd. I guess
That's probably your really creative one. Why don't you just move her into some really creative things?
Yeah, I mean, my older one's so happy and creative. She loves art. She loves anything. She's always like building things and creating things. And my younger one, she hasn't found her place yet. She's always like, she comes to me bummed out. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I'm like, well, you're 8, so you've got time. Like, but everything is kind of negative with her. It's just, so we always work on like just being positive and building her up. And you know, she's been tough. She was born tough. So
What makes her real happy?
she loves dance. We've got her in dance. She's really had a hard time up until about this year making friends. She's never had friends.
That's a big one for a lot of kids.
For little kids, it is. Where my older daughter could care less about friends. Oh, somebody wants to be my friend. I don't know. She doesn't care. But my younger one really cares.
That's how my kids kind of were.
And it's like, I think she compares herself so much to her sister, too. Because my older daughter, she's good at anything she does. And my younger daughter sees that and gets upset that she's not good at stuff. And oh, my God, it's just this, I don't know. She's got this, like, negative cloud around her all the time. So we just worry about
You're probably going to have to get rid of one.
I mean, at least one. You know how you always say, I'll take you out and make another one just like you? Well, that's what we're doing.
Well, but you said something. You said, you asked her what makes her happy?
Yeah.
See, this is where, I have this hatred for the word happy. It is the worst idea of the whole world.
Why not?
No, because when you're talking about a girl who might be more on the negative side, or anyone who's on the negative side, and I get it, I really do. And then someone will say, well, what makes them happy? Well, nothing makes them happy because happy doesn't exist. Happiness is just it's a moment in time where you feel a passion or you feel something. A spark for something. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
It's a spark.
Makes sense.
But you can't. You know what happy people are who have that spark all the time? They're called crazy people. We give them lithium and we lock them away. That's what those people are. So it's really.
So is the same stay true for people that are unhappy?
No, what it is that people.
He goes, oh no, that exists.
Yeah. No. But what it is that there's people who try to find happiness in all the things that they do, and they skip around. They do that, but. The reverse is there's people who see the misery or the sad part of life and they exist in that. You just both people need to be brought over a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Because it doesn't there is no destination happy. I spun the globe today. There was no happy destination. Here's where because we would all move there. We would all go to happy and we would live in happy. Life is a yin.
Some people are happy being unhappy.
Well,
Oh, I know people.
They like that shit.
yeah.
They're into that. That's what they.
Well,
yeah.
it's not that they're necessarily they're comfortable there. Because,
Yeah.
because
I had this conversation with somebody the other day
Yeah.
about the majority of people are just comfortable, or else nobody would have a desk job in an office. That's nobody's goal when you are growing up and you're thinking something like, dude, I just want to sit behind a desk
under
at a
fluorescent
cubicle,
lights and just chill.
and do somebody else's work. Like, that's my goal in life. No, dude, you're growing up, you have all these cool thoughts and aspirations. You just get comfortable. You fall into something and get comfortable with it. We don't let that happen. We do comedy. It's what we wanted to do.
But
we took the risk in life, and we still are.
But I think that there's a group of people, and I think it's the larger mass of people are just looking for that comfort anyway, regardless. Because I know a gentleman who he's actually from Arizona. He created one of the largest billboard. He created at the time the largest billboard company ever. But he did that. Most people go work in a billboard company. They become a salesman.
Yeah.
They make X amount of dollars. They get married. They have a kid. They put the car. And they're like, hey, you know what? I'm happy.
Yeah, life is good. I've got the family.
Yeah, I got it. Now,
yeah, that's true.
And they avoid all the shitty stuff that's going around them, and so they're happy, and they stay in the happy zone. I'm in the comfort zone. I can pay all my bills.
Yeah.
My kids are going to college. This guy, same guy. He worked for someone. He was a great salesman, and then just goes, this isn't. I'm not comfortable, and he went and bought a small company and grew it into a large one, and eventually bought by Viacom. It's a whole big deal. And you guys want to look it up? You can figure out who it is because he owns the Angels. But what I'm saying
he owns a small company called the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Yeah, he does. So all I mean by that is it's innate within us to be who we are. We're not. There's people who are going to settle, and that's enough. And there's other ones that want something different, or there's people like us who are just. I consider comics to be jacked in the head, and we have things that we want to tell people, but we don't want to tell them in a way, a position of authority. We want to tell them. We want to look at authority. We want to kind of shit on it and tell people why this isn't right. And it's a difference. We're not committed to making a change in the world. We're committed to letting people know that there should be a change in the world. It's kind of I don't want to say that we're shitty people, but I think we're part of the comfort people, but have an opinion. Because we're not going to run for office. We're not going to change.
Yeah.
I mean, there is one guy who did run for office. He was a writer on SNL.
Al Franken.
Yeah, Al Franken. So I mean, it's within the group, but I'm just saying that's how I just look at it.
Yeah. Well, you made a good point where when I looked at it, I was thinking happiness is a career, or comfortableness, you fall into some career. But there are the people that fall into the comfortableness of a career because what makes them happy is having a family. And
taking Saturday and Sunday and going to the lake.
They like that shit.
Get
That
their
makes
boat
them
out.
super happy. Yeah, I know people like that. So I guess I only looked at it in the career way, where I'd just be like, why would you want to work like that? Well, that's the reason why probably a lot of people do.
Yeah.
The security of a job that makes you money.
Most people, they perceive happiness as feeling secure. Like not feeling like you're going to have to live on the streets or whatever. I think most people think like that.
I don't know. I don't know how most people think. I'm just going off of what I see.
Well, that's their actions.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
If you told me, though, that I had to work every day and I would be able to comfortably pay my bills and I had a boat and I could go to the lake every weekend, I would go, I have to drive that boat to the lake every weekend? No way am I doing that!
He would much rather sit behind the desk and not look forward to the weekend.
I would be
That's
just
great.
miserable with that.
That is great.
Yeah.
That's so funny. My husband, his favorite thing to do is get away. I just want to get away for the weekend. That's all he ever says. I just want to go up north and just get away. What are you getting away from? It's like just everything.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it.
Puts his phone away, puts all his bullshit away, and he goes out camping and he digs holes. He creates all these little jobs he needs to do when we go camping, and he couldn't be happier.
Well, that works.
It's great for him.
I wish that I had found something that made me feel that way.
Yeah.
We'll call it happiness just for the sake of calling it happiness.
After
hurts you so
he does
much.
all these things where he's like working so hard, he finally sits down. He goes, "This is so nice up here, isn't this?" I'm like, "Whatever, it's your thing. I'm just whatever. I don't care." But yeah, I mean, I'm nice
It's a
about it.
stress reliever. It's
he
put your mind at ease. I don't know.
That's how I
But
feel
that's
about
kind of
comedy.
like the boat
that-
thing.
yeah.
But for him, boat's too much work.
Yeah, but that's how I feel about comedy. Like I'd rather be. It's.
That's your camping.
Well, it is because it's the only time that I feel pleased is when I'm on stage. I mean, even after I get off stage and I hated what I just did. I mean, even when I was doing what I hated after I got off stage, I was feeling good up there. Hate it when I get off stage and I have to go over it. And I don't even care if I bomb. Like if I bomb, I mean, I'd prefer to have a good set than a bomb set. But a good bomb set is not that bad either.
No.
And dealing with regular life is much worse than a really bad bomb.
Well, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are just became like a type of person for me.
Yeah, it's also funny. I couldn't sit behind a desk and work on a computer, but I can and have willingly and lovingly sat behind at a desk behind a computer and wrote all day for a number of days in a row and was happy as shit. Like, didn't need breaks, didn't need anything. I can't. It's something that you got to do. I think what you're passionate about or what you actually enjoy doing. It's the people that do jobs, man, that they complain about all the time. To me, it's like, dude, just get out of it. Dude, how do you live your fucking life like that?
Yeah.
Because that's where they're comfortable. See, happiness and comfortable, I think, are very...
Well, they're very different.
They're very different, but I think people mistake their comfortability for happiness. And I think that's why we have a gun problem. Not the other way around. I think people go crazy because they think that they're where they think they should be, and they're not. That's a very small.
What's that one movie that's so good? It's an older movie. I want to say it's not Michael Douglas. Maybe.
My Girl.
No, and he's got the tie and the short sleeve button-down shirt.
Oh, Michael Douglas in.
You know what I'm talking about. He's just got this life that you guys are talking about.
Wall Street?
He finally just loses his shit. And
This is when he gets stuck in traffic. He gets out of the car and he starts beating the shit out of people.
I think that is one of the greatest movies.
What movie is that? Look it
I'm going
up.
to look it up right now. Is it Michael Douglas? I think
it is Michael Douglas. It was a good movie. He loses his mind and he just I don't know. You know what? Here's the like as we're talking about happiness. I don't know if he lost his mind or if he found like his hatred and just took it out on everybody. And
It's old. It's an old film.
Maybe like 15 years.
15, 20 years.
All right.
That's when you were still a very young man.
What? I was in high school. And we'll get back when she finds the movie. I am.
Come on, drive it.
The movie. Calm down, man. Terrible backseat driver, dude. Just get the fuck out of the car. Well, I want to ask, because when we're on stage, and you said it, when you're on stage, like that's
Falling
when you
down.
feel...
Yeah, Falling Down. It was good.
All right.
When I show you the picture of the title of the movie, you'll recognize it.
All right. When you're on stage and... I don't recognize it. Like, that's your best time. All right. I don't want to say happy either, because now you've made me not want to be happy. But,
I want everybody to be happy. I want you to recognize moments of happiness that
it's a feeling, not a lifestyle.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's when you're like when you look at your kid and you're like, I made that and I'm proud of that. That's a happy moment. But that kid's going to go and shit on your day somewhere later, and that kid didn't
moment.
change. That kid didn't change. But that moment of happiness didn't change either.
Your tolerance changes. Is what happens. Like you said, you were sick.
Yeah.
That's why your son's extra shitty, because your tolerance for how he always is changed. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's not get caught up on this. This is the non-happy podcast. What were you asking?
This actually is the longest we've ever talked about thoughts on this podcast.
I know. We should try and stay pretty upbeat. For me, I just feel like...
I like it. I'm having fun.
For me. This is the beat. This is the beat right here.
Hey, Andy, you and I talk a lot of shop when we're at shows. We talk a lot about stand-up. And the whole process and everything, I guess, that kind of goes in it between me and you. But when you're on stage, there's no greater feeling, right?
No, I mean, there isn't a greater feeling when you get to go up and you get to relate your thoughts.
Have you had, okay, and we said, you and I agree, that's why I said but you said it. When you have like a huge bomb, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not even a horrible feeling. It doesn't feel great, and you don't prefer it. But if it happens, you learn a lot from it. In your time in doing stand-up, being on stage and doing different sets, have you gone through what you would consider just every emotion possible?
Yeah, I think I have. I mean, in the bigger sense of emotion, not breaking them down into little parts, but yeah, I mean, and you know, the sad part about it to me is that I've done that when it's been a bad set, when it's a bomb set, which if you extrapolate that and take a look at it, I think that's how life really is. We find most about ourselves emotionally in the bad states. We don't find it in the good states.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I'm sorry, I'm going completely off where you went, but I think it's important to say this, and that's why comedy right now, as they try to sanitize it, is the wrong thing to do, because if we just make people laugh without any kind of pain involved in that, or a way to like reconsider the way you look at something, or just any of that, if we're not allowed to do that on stage, then we're just putting you in a euphoric ha-ha state,
like knock jokes,
get nothing out of.
Yeah.
And I said this because there was a recent time where people said that was inappropriate and that you shouldn't say that. And rape is a big one. Rape is one that we're not supposed to talk about on stage. But had you taken away the comedian's right to talk about rape, there are 44 women who may have not ever found any kind of justice to what happened. And it's because a comic was joking about a rape situation. And so when we talk about the emotions, yeah, I feel all those emotions anyway, but the ones that are really funny and everybody laughs at are emotions that I've turned from negative into a positive emotion. That's what you enjoy on stage the most, is when people are laughing at those things. And you present it to them in a way that's palatable, but hopefully they heard something else in that.
Yeah.
But when you're bombing, you have to accept that you're learning about your craft or your life or however it is. And the thing that hurts in a bomb is that, truthfully, the audience is there for us. And when you bomb, that meant they were there for you, and they turned on you, and they judged you in a way that we have ran from, and that's why we're on stage in the first place.
Yeah. I feel when I bomb, I can sense it coming already.
You judged yourself.
Yeah. But I've never been surprised when I've bombed. It's weird. And I think that has to do with like confidence going up there. I probably give off a vibe already that I'm just kind of like, oh, here we go. I'm going to fuck something up or whatever. Because I don't know. There's just a sense of not as confident. But I don't know. I always get a sense about it. But I still go and I still try and work through the material to learn from myself with it. Which is a weird feeling. But that's where I get all my emotions from when I go through that cycle of just every emotion. It's like I'm pissed at myself. So I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I get sad because I'm like, you're wasting other people's time now, like guilty. And then at the end, I get a happy feeling because I'm like, I still went through it. I still went through the shit, and I'm going to learn from this. And I haven't bombed in a while, but when I've bombed when I do new shit for the first time. But that's whatever. I'm working things out.
I bombed really bad this one time at SUS. And you know, when you said you go up there and you feel like you already pre-bombed. I went up there with confidence.
Pre-bombed, I like it.
Pre-workout.
I went up there with confidence, and as soon as I didn't get those first laughs, it was like my fucking your legs are just taken out from underneath you. You like, hey, this worked, and it wasn't working. And you know, it might have been the way I put it together. It might have been my presence on stage. I don't know, but I knew I was in the midst of an epic bomb for me. So I went deeper. I took my shirt off. I was like, let's see how. If we're gonna bomb, let's do this.
Let's make it memorable.
Do this together.
Let's feel every ounce of this emotion that I can take out of this. And I did it all. I took my shirt off. I said some crappy things to people. I had jokes that weren't ready that I knew that were really like those edge jokes where you have to say them just right to make them work, and I said those so that I just let's go. Where can I? If we're gonna go down, I was like, if you were gonna go down, the whole audience is coming fucking with me. And so,
did anyone appreciate it?
Me, I appreciate it. But I don't care. I don't care how good you feel or how bad you feel. Whatever it is, when you bomb after you get off stage, you have to. I eat it like a sandwich. Like I'll accept it and I'll appreciate it, but The sit there and I'll eat it like a dry cheese sandwich. And I'll just suck that thing down. Because when Kevin was nice enough to get me a spot at the Comedy Store on this Tuesday night, and it's a big night there. But they put me up, and I will not blame the set or the time. Although it was a very tough time to do that set. But I went up there, and I didn't take my shirt off of that one. I wish I would have done. But I ate shit harder than I ever ate shit in a small set like that. And I got to tell you, though, that even though afterwards I ate it like a cheese sandwich, while I was on stage, I was in this euphoric state of you are bombing so bad in the room that you care so much to do about, and you are having a great time doing it. And I did it in an epic way, and it was so bad. And then I got off the stage, and I was like, I should just leave and go watch the other show because at the store there's multiple rooms. So I was going to go down to the other room and see it. I go, no, you go sit on those stairs in front of everybody. You eat
like
that fucking dry cheese sandwich in front of everyone, and you let them recognize and feel.
You wear that dunce cap and just let them look
man.
at you.
You're your own coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sat there and just ate it. I ate the whole thing.
Do you do this? Okay, when I pre-bomb, quote unquote.
You get ready to bomb?
Well, I see it coming because I will watch the comics before me at shows, and I can already tell from the crowd that my material isn't going to work for them, and I just know. So I'm like, I should just pull myself from the show, but fuck it, I'm not going to. I'm going to make some money and do it, and just eat shit. But I was talking with Clayton, and Clayton's like, I never stay in the room. Like, they'll tell me when I'm about to go on, and then I'll come in and I'll just go up like I have no idea what's going on.
So he's
never affected
no
by it.
Who's there? That's
he's just never affected by it. So I've been starting to do that, and it's helping a lot. Like, do you do anything like that?
No.
You just stay and watch the show and say,
you know what? I have this, and you know what? Seinfeld is not my favorite comic on stage, like to make me laugh. As a technician, I think he's my favorite comic. I do, because he has this. He talks about comedy and confidence. It doesn't make a difference. Like, if the audience isn't liking this, but they're liking this or this, it doesn't make a difference. Funny's funny, and if you go up and you hit it with funny's funny, and it works. And when you're bombing and you're doing your material that you're bombing with anyway, and you know that it's worked 100 times before, what are you going to do? Yeah. You know, you just go up there and you do it, and you give it your back. You put it out there the way you have for the other 100 times that it was liked. And I really believe in that. I believe that you do, and it's hard. I mean, you guys got when you were doing shows over there. Who's the Hot Rock Super Joint, whatever?
Oh yeah.
Dude, and I'm up there and I'm going. I'm like, fuck this. Someone has to follow that shit. There's no way that I want to follow that shit, you know. But if I go up there, I will go up there with my best attitude and put it together the best I can. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But I know that I've worked on this, and this represents me. And if you don't like it, well, then too bad. Go listen to the Hot Rock Super. And there's nothing wrong with him. It's just it's really hard to follow music, because music has an innate beat that gets into your soul, and you can go with it because it has music behind it, and you don't need. I mean, if you listen to the words of some of your favorite songs, you might not like them as much. So that brings people along. And then you go up there with no music and just your little microphone, like you're supposed to, which I believe is real life comedy. I feel like you are at a disadvantage. But the other side of that is that's when you know if your comedy is really like, is it well written? Am I presenting it well? Am I doing it? If you can follow something like that.
Yeah.
And you go to the store and you see, I watched this, I wish I remember her name. This girl followed Chris Rock. I mean, she followed Chris fucking Rock.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, just to say that you got to follow anybody, that's his cadence is so, like, on point and everything. But he was doing open mic, so his cadence wasn't the same and everything. But it was Chris Rock. And she went up there, and everybody's like, you could hear all the comments about, who's going to follow her? What's going to, oh, man, I feel bad for her. And she went up there, and you know what? She put her fucking big comic pants on, and she fucking rocked it after Chris Rock. And it's because you just have to believe in that material. And for you, if that means getting out of the room so you don't have to hear it, get the fuck out of the room.
Yeah.
Because you've done this before, and you should feel good about what you're going to go up and do. And the new jokes that you go, how would you say, I'm going to bomb on a new joke? I mean, that's your child, and you already just sent you sent him out. You're like, well, I have a lot of children. I'm going to send this one out to die. Just don't send him out there that way. Send him out there as a fucking champion, and if he comes back all beat up and bruised, then you know you put bandage him up and you put him back together.
That's a really great way to say it. Next time I think I'm a bomb, I'm literally going to put my son on stage.
Have your shirt off.
He probably will. He's hilarious.
If I bomb any worse than I bomb when I took off my shirt, I'm taking off the pants.
The pants
funny. Are fucking coming off.
I love that. It's so passionate.
Yes,
it's great.
Stand there in completely raw emotion, just like, you didn't like that? Well, fucking check this out. I don't like this shit either. This is what I live with on this.
I don't like this shit either.
Such passion. I love it.
That's awesome, man. Unfortunately, we got to wrap up, man. I could sit here all day with you. But shout out everything again. Let everybody know what's going on.
This Thursday, October 8th at 8 p.m., I'll have a show at the Tempe Improv. I'm getting to do my full 45 to an hour, which I'm really excited about.
I'm so excited. Guys, look, I told you in the beginning, I never steer you wrong with shows and whatnot. Go to the show if you're in Phoenix. Go.
Clayton Perkins will be there. Jared Campbell will be there.
Kristen Davis.
Kristen Davis is going to be there. Tom Sims is going to be there. It's going to be a really, really fun show. I believe in all the people that are on this show. There's many more that I believe in that I'd like to put on the show, but this show is solid, and I'm really excited.
It's going to be incredible, dude. I'm super stoked to go. And go to 10pmprov.com, go to the calendar, October 8th, go to buy tickets, and type in the word Chuckle, CHUCKLE, and you'll get free tickets. So now
Still
there's no
2-drink
reason.
minimum. Don't want to piss anybody off. There's still 2-drink minimum.
Well, all right. So you're paying $10 for the show.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Have a good time, and bring a date, dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so much fun. Tell them to meet you there.
Yeah, you can meet up there.
Meet up there. Just text everybody out. Hey,
Follow
gonna
each other.
be at the Improv, the 9 to 8. Yeah, and I'll have my T-shirts for sale. I'll have hats.
What kind of T-shirts do you sell?
They're nice ones.
Well, do they say something on them?
It's a punchline, so.
Okay.
It's one of his jokes. It's so funny.
You have to
Okay.
come and see
I
it.
really want to go.
I know we have to wrap up,
funny.
but when you said, "Yeah, I've seen you twice," I thought, "Oh, cool." She came to a couple of the shows. No, like I've spotted you in.
I'm a fan. It sounds creepy. It sounds creepy.
I saw
I've
you
stalked
in
you 2 times.
weird areas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but come to the show. Honestly, it's going to be a really good show. And I didn't say this before, and I got to get this out. Clay, Jared. Like Jared used to come over to stand up Scottsdale, and he would come on, and I would go, dude, this dude should give up, man. This guy should give
Oh,
up.
no shit.
Yeah, like I
thought you were gonna say, dude, this guy's got it.
No, I was
Whoa.
like, this guy should give up. I mean, because he was always and but he worked through it, and he worked. And I'm not saying he should have gave up. I'm being kind of shitty. I was thinking, he has a lot of work to do. He's new, and he has a lot of work to do. I saw him in L.A. at the Parlor, and people with credits, like name credits, people who's been on, could not follow him. The show basically ended on him, and he is killing it. And I was so excited that he said yes, he was going to do the show. So you guys got to come out. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah. And Jared, he'll get his rebuttal next week on the show to say that you were horrible the first time he saw you.
I know it sounds
Actually, Thursday's show will be over by then, so he could say, dude, Andy sucked. He ruined the show.
I didn't mean it in a bad way. There was a lot of happiness
that's
in what I was
awesome.
saying.
That's-
There's tons of happiness in it.
Andy, dude, thank you so much. Guys, again, go to the show Thursday, October 8th, 8 p.m., Tempe Improv. Type in the word Chuckle to get free tickets. And
AndyComedy.com. AndyComedy.com.
Yeah, go to that. AndyComedy.com. Where can they follow you on Twitter?
Go to AndyComedy.com. All my stuff's on there, including my home phone number. And if people start calling me, I'll know that I've started to make it, and then I'll take off the phone number. So if you guys see a number on there, you want to call me at 4 o'clock in the morning and be like, you're fucking making it, that'd be awesome.
I love it.
It's committed.
They almost want to do the same thing. I'm not, but it's a really cool thing.
You would look at your phone like, why the fuck is this thing ringing? It rings? It has a ring setting?
People don't call me. Andy,
Talk to
dude,
people
again,
later.
thank you so much, dude. Way appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Andy.
Yeah, thanks, you guys.
This has been another great presentation of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. You can catch more shows at foureyedradio.com.